Welcome to the Mukilteo Football Show. My name is Miles.
My name is Kirk. Thursday night, baby.
The New York Jets Halloween.
Boo.
You Frankenstein and gabagools out there.
Gabagool.
I ain't scared of no ghost. All right, Jets beat the Texans 21-13 on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
In a game that, honestly, my number one takeaway is we're not done with the Jets this year.
Dang it. I was hoping they'd get buried and be done with it.
It felt like they were not coming back from 2-7. Yep. A loss of the Texans was just going to put them into irrelevance.
Yep.
Not even worth talking about. But 3-6, a win over a team that probably didn't look like a win, on the terms of the schedule.
Yeah.
And the rest of the AFC feeling pretty.
It's up in the air. I don't trust the Broncos up there. Chargers, Colts, those teams are going to fade a little bit.
Yeah, and the Texans, of course, the AFC South is just looking wobbly again.
The classic AFC South collapse.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the game. I mean, I think we can first summarize the first half was apparently dull.
Very boring.
Yeah.
First couple drives, fumbles. I mean, Stroud fumbled one, Hall fumbled one, but recovered.
Yeah.
And then the one dude that
Mosley, Corley. Malachi Corley, rookie receiver, takes a reverse, and it's about a 20-yard touchdown, except for he drops it
1
after
yard
19
short.
yards. Yeah.
Inexplicable. Just run it to the back of the end zone, hand it to a ref like Barry Sanders, and celebrate. Just act like you've been there before.
Do the Barry. Do the Barry. God. It's amazing. It honestly, it seems like it's close to happening all over the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on to that ball, man. Just cross the line.
Right? Just run to the back of the end zone. The ball's definitely in by that point.
Yes.
By that point, then you can do anything you want.
Yeah.
But I don't get it. After Deshaun Jackson did this, 15 to 20 years ago,
multiple times,
I thought for sure nobody would do this ever again. Yeah. But here we are.
It's just there's some instinct. There's some maybe coolness to it. What do you think it is? I don't know. But
I don't get it. I really don't. It makes no sense to me.
So the game ended up being 6-0 right at half. The Jets,
7-0.
7-0.
Yeah.
The Jets were in their darkest point.
Oh, it looked like it was over.
Rodgers had 32 yards. He's rolling his eyes at Devontae Adams. Which is we were laughing about that. Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams just not good enough for him. If only he had prime Randy Moss and prime Jerry Rice, he could do something. It's why?
Can I get some better receivers? Where's my tight end?
Exactly. And Jets fans were probably at their lowest point.
They were booing.
They were booing.
First quarter, second quarter, especially at the end of the half. They were booing hard. So they turned it around, though. Second half looked much better.
The second half offense capped by a couple of Garrett Wilson touchdowns. Yep. So really good first one that capped off a big drive. And then, of course, the second one, which was this insane one-hander where he just kind of takes the angle in the corner of the end zone. It's about a 25-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
But he just takes the right angle on a defender who wasn't looking. I actually think he made it a lot harder than it needed to be by getting so much air and getting his legs way up there. He actually kind of had if he would have stayed closer to the earth, I think he would have been okay.
Didn't have to jump that high, but he did the Odell Beckham one hand over the head.
Incredible catch. His first leg gets down. His second leg.
Shin gets down.
Knee
out of bounds.
Yeah, so shin inbounds, knee out of bounds, but shin first inbounds. Yeah. So you don't think this was actually a touchdown?
I always think back to the Julio Jones against the Seahawks, where he catches the ball in the end zone, he puts his toes in, and then comes back on his heels, and they count him out.
Yeah.
So I kind of thought that, but apparently your shin and your knee are two separate body things. It's not toe to heel. It's shin then knee.
There was something
I don't know.
Really weird. I remember the explanation. It's so funny you bring up that Julio one. That was against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
I think he was he still on the Falcons at that time, or was that actually a Titans?
I think it was a Titans one.
Time. Yeah. It's basically dependent on which way you're facing. So had Julio been facing the other way, his toes in, play is over.
Yeah.
But because he's facing backwards, quote unquote backwards, back towards the line of scrimmage, he has to get the heels in. There was just this weird explanation. And that does kind of apply to this
He's going
situation.
the right direction.
He's going the right direction, so away from the line of scrimmage. Shin is in, play is over.
Yeah. Which I'm a little surprised by it.
I was surprised they reversed it, for sure. I thought there was not enough. We were watching Garrett Wilson's leg bending.
We're just like, how did that happen? That looks like it hurts.
It did look like it hurt.
But great catch. I'm kind of glad they gave it a catch.
Yeah, rule of cool. Let it count because it's so cool looking.
Use common sense. Make the good catch be a catch. Don't Calvin Johnson these guys.
Exactly. Don't get into the nitpick of that.
But that set the Jets on a frenzy. That's fantastic.
So they were. It was then 14-10. The Texans get a big drive going. Big bomb to Tank Dell. So we still maybe have a game, about 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and that's when that sequence happens. That was just wild. I don't think I've ever seen a team like bad beat lose 3 points that they had, or
they had.
Yeah, it's like
took it off the board.
Okay, so first it was like second down, Mixon's throwing the ball to CJ Stroud.
CJ Stroud on the fade route.
Goal line fade, or actually it's like an 8-yard fade route.
Oh, yeah.
To CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
The receiver.
Should have been PI.
Honestly, it should have been.
Should have been.
Should have been Texans ball at the 1, first and goal.
Even the refs didn't see it coming.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like, wait, is CJ Stroud out here?
Yeah.
And then the next play is this huge sack.
Yep.
Texans kick the field goal, so it's 14-13. Yeah. But there's a penalty on the Jets, and they take the points off the board for which I think was the right call.
Automatic first
down.
You needed a touchdown. You didn't want to be down 1 still. Yeah.
2 runs to Mixon, 1 miss of Mechie.
Oh, dude.
Which should have been a touchdown.
Yeah.
So Stroud.
That's all on Stroud.
Yeah.
He should have hit him.
And then they missed the field goal. And that is that was the end of the game right there.
Oh, yeah.
Jets kept the ball from there. Rodgers throwing a touchdown to Devontae Adams, just adding
to seal it.
The last talk show piece that you need to give the Jets the fuel to be relevant in this season again, and it's just sickening.
Yep. We're still going to have to talk about the Jets. Yeah. Unfortunately, folks, Aaron Rodgers, he's been immunized.
Yeah, he's been immunized. They're 3-6. I mean, hey, that's the same record. They're ahead of the Dolphins. They're right there. And it's amazing how much one win in the NFL matters.
Oh, yeah. It's huge because, you can easily see them, winning 6 games from here on out. That brings them back to around 500.
I said, hey, they're 2-6. They could easily go 6-2.
Yeah.
I just didn't think they were going to because of all this dysfunction. But I don't know. Winning helps with dysfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a tough 5-game losing streak. That loss to the Patriots had to piss them off a bit. Mm-hmm. They needed a win because they hadn't got one with their new coach.
Yeah.
So, good on Olbrook. He finally gets one.
Yep.
But I'm still just I cannot root for the Jets. I don't want to see them anywhere in the playoffs. I would want to see them over the Broncos, though, if it comes to that.
I agree.
But they are losing the tiebreaker on that.
Right.
So
I would prefer a playoff game with Jets than Broncos. You might as well not even tune in for the Broncos one. They lost.
Yeah.
What about the Texans side of it here? CJ Stroud took a lot of hits today.
Yeah, he looked bad. He had lots of time. On some plays, he had 12 seconds back there. But it's all just Tank Dell. Robert Woods is washed up.
Yeah.
So he's missing his receivers.
He goes out, digs out for the year.
Mixon still looked good. But their team is not as multi-dimensional. They can't really throw the ball without Nico.
The offense lacks bite, and that probably is just a Nico Collins thing.
Yeah.
And maybe they'll get him back, and he's an elite receiver. Nico Collins is one of the best receivers in the NFL.
He's got to be coming back soon. It's been about 4 weeks, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it has been.
Hamstring, he should be good to go soon.
So, but Stroud looks off.
Yeah.
He missed some time. We talked about that Mechie throw. This is the worst I've seen him look the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And they're now 6-3, so they're still fine. But we do have a tradition of AFC South teams
collapsing,
taking the division lead and then collapsing throughout November and December. Is it now the Texans' turn?
Titans. Mason Rudolph.
What about the Joe Flacco Colts, who we'll be talking about in a little bit?
I guess they are next on the progression.
Yeah.
Jags came back on the Titans, Texans on the Jags, and now Colts on the Texans. Yeah, well, I like that. Yeah, a little worried about the Texans, but I think having a long week off will certainly help.
Yeah, I agree. So, Mukilteo Football Show. The show is football, everything, NFL history, legacy, ups and downs of the season. We got shows Sunday, Monday, and Thursday after the primetime games. Follow us on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. All right, week 9.
We're at the halfway point after this week.
We're doing a mid-season episode next week.
Yeah.
We got to get our recalibrate our predictions.
New predictions.
Though I will say, my Super Bowl prediction is still looking fantastic.
You got
Bills-Packers.
Bills-Packers. I had Detroit and Cincinnati.
Well, Detroit's still looking
Detroit's looking great. Cincinnati, not so much.
Yeah.
God, man, I love Joe Burrow, but it's not looking pretty out there.
Honestly, that loss to the Eagles was a crusher.
Yeah. Moving back to 3-5, they're going to have a tough time sneaking in here.
Yeah, and it's like not mathematically impossible. It's just like, but why are they 3-5?
Yeah, it's they're just not winning games. The defense doesn't look good. Yeah, then that's the last I'm going to say about the Bengals tonight.
Yeah,
I'm mad at them.
All right, let's preview the games we selected for Week 9. A couple of good ones here.
Bengals, no.
And the first one is the Bengals. No, Chicago Bears. The Bears going to Arizona. Arizona's favored by 1.5. And the Bears, I guess the question for everybody is are the Bears shook to their core about that Hail Mary loss to the Commanders? Or are they going to bounce back and show the world, stop laughing at us?
Yeah, this could go two ways because we don't really know who the Bears are yet.
Right.
So is that loss like demoralizing? It's over. Yeah. We still have a bunch. We still have all 6 of our division games to play.
Yeah.
So like,
they do.
This is like a must win for them.
Yeah, and those are tough division games. 2 against the Packers, 2 against the Lions, 2 against the Vikings.
Yeah. I've just been pretty concerned about Caleb Williams. His accuracy just hasn't been there. Like the flow of the offense. I mean, Swift's been doing okay. He's been getting some yards per carry. He seems to be a decent running back for the offense, but Caleb Williams hasn't seemed to be able to get sustained drives.
Yeah, it looks like it looked at USC, except for against NFL defenses, which is bad.
Yeah.
And I mean, but I don't know. I blame the coaching still on offense. We obviously blame the coaching on defense. Who are the Bears, I think is the right question. If they bounce back here, that's a sign of a good locker room, a good trust in the coaching, but it was so bad. Like, I don't like to overreact because you never know a team's game plan.
Yeah.
You never know things, but there was such lack of discipline. There was such lack of understanding from Matt Eberflus, not just the Hail Mary, but why he gave up 12 yards before the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
Like, even the reporters were trying to tell him,
cover the short flat outside. Yeah.
Kyler Murray, or not Kyler Murray, that's who's playing this time. Jaden Daniels last week probably wouldn't have been able to throw it to the 2-yard line if they didn't get 12 free yards. Yeah. And he just like, no. He said, like, no, we were not worried about that. It's still an end of the game situation. The reporter's just like, okay, man, I feel like you should be fired. Then, like, I wasn't asking you if you should have done it.
Like, did you not watch the Chiefs-Bills 13-second game? I mean, come on, like they can get some good chunks of yards pretty dang quickly, and that gave them a chance. I like the way that Chicago or that Washington blocked that.
Yeah,
for the Hail Mary pass, but
it was the Bears just. I mean, that Stevenson guy, yes, he was out there taunting, but
he's taking all the flack right now.
The worst thing he did was try to get over there and make the splash play. Like, the taunting wasn't, I mean, it was bad. The optics looked bad, but he did get back over there for the play. It was just that they were all trying to
Everybody tried to jump it. Yeah.
And they were, not all of them were even trying to bat down, by the way. Some were trying to bat up.
Yeah.
So Noah Brown's like, bring it to me. Like, just Daniels chucked it.
Just terrible. Like, situationally, like, Eberflus, I think, went over it in post-game, talked about exactly what they should do. Mm-hmm. So he's telling the players this.
Yeah.
They're not listening.
Yeah.
That's what concerns me the most. Eberflus's job is definitely on the line coming down the second half of the season here.
And the Cardinals, I mean, as far as teams that could completely lay an egg after doing great, like these two teams, I don't know what we're going to learn, actually.
No, that's why I like talking about this game, because these are two teams we don't talk about too much, but they're going to be in the picture coming down the stretch. They're in the hunt.
They're both 4-4, right?
I believe the Bears are 4-3.
Bears are 4-3. Yeah. Cardinals are 4-4 with all the rest of their NFC West, the brethren, Seahawks and 49ers.
And we haven't talked Cardinals a whole lot this year.
We really haven't.
But Kyler Murray, a lot better than I thought he was.
Yeah.
Like, he's looking good.
He has been good in a way that you might not predict Kyler Murray to be, which is like middle of the field, deep, intermediate.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that little guy is getting that ball's coming out of the pocket and it's landing in some real nice places.
His accuracy is on point.
Yeah. Teams are terrified, mortified of his rushing ability because he has just
so quick,
short, airy quickness. He's also had like complete quarters off. That may be harsh on it seems like all quarterbacks have that now, but I've really been impressed by the non-Kingsbury version of Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
this has looked good, and it's like maybe it could get better. Because it's in the first year.
I think what I like about him the most watching the games has been he used to get like super frustrated, like things weren't going right in the second quarter. Like he's pissed off, he's yelling at people on the sidelines, like. I haven't seen that at all this year. It's like, let's play all 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, he's just been like, let's get all the way. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm a good player. I got a good team.
He's made it to the point where he's a veteran.
Yeah.
And it's got to help that he's got Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, and just the weapons are better, the best he's had.
James Conner, dude.
James Conner.
This guy, man. Every year, I'm just like, James Conner sucks. He's not going anywhere for the rest of this career. The drop-off has got to happen.
Right. And
he just keeps on doing it. 100 yards like every freaking game. Like, he is such a smart player. Like,
he's a great story. James Conner's an awesome
He's
story.
The captain, in my opinion. But I am worried about the Cardinals because they've won on, like, 3 last-second field goals. Like, that's 3 of their 4 wins.
They have a horrific defense. Their defense sucks. All right. They're favored by 1.5. Who are you picking?
I do think the Bears are in trouble. I think the Cardinals are going to take this. People are going to start running with, Cardinals can win the NFC West, which I don't really believe. But
you were saying the Rams earlier.
Yeah.
We could talk about that in the mid-season episode. But
but I think that they're going to start getting some popularity. The Cardinals will. I think the Bears, this is kind of a must-win for them, but I don't think there's a rhythm there on offense.
Yeah.
It's only looked good against bad teams.
Yeah.
So I'm a little concerned there. I think Arizona at home keeps the momentum rolling.
Yeah, given the choice between invigorated and wanting to prove the world wrong and demoralized at the stupidity of our coaching staff, I'll choose demoralized at the stupidity of coaching staff. Bears are going to come out flat, and you're facing Kyler Murray is one of the best players in the NFL, and you're going to lose to him.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's go to Miami. Or no, go to Buffalo. Miami's going to Buffalo.
Oh yeah,
Miami's 2-5 after losing to Kyler Murray and the Cardinals.
That would have been a big win for them.
Despite Tua's triumphant return, the Bills, meanwhile, are 6-2. They are.
People are saying this division's over.
Number 1, maybe. Yeah. And Josh Allen is just putting up great numbers. More importantly, the offense is a balanced juggernaut. They've got Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Dalton Kincaid. The passing game is just great, sturdy, one of the best in the league. But they're also running the ball
James Cook.
Yeah. This is not the team that Miami needed right here at this. They have basically exactly what the Jets had tonight.
Yeah.
This is a game where they've got to make themselves relevant for the second half of the season.
Except for they don't have an injured team they're playing. They're playing a fully healthy Bills team here.
Yeah, so not the opponent they want.
Yeah.
But they need this.
This is a Tua revenge game. They knocked him out. They knocked him out Thursday night, and now he comes back and he's seeing Buffalo Bills again.
But when I'm going to spoil my pick. I'm picking Bills. I've never seen Tua in any game that he has good competition do anything worthy of praise. He is I should back up a little bit. The fact that the Dolphins did absolutely nothing without Tua, and then as soon as they get him back, they put up 27 points or whatever. Okay, credit.
Yeah.
Tight windows. hitting people in stride. But when you need a backup plan, Tua does not have it.
Yep.
So he's going to give you 30 against the Cardinals. He's going to throw up a dud against Buffalo. Just because he had this concussion this year, I don't see any reason to drop that. That's common sense at this point, common knowledge.
Yeah.
The Buffalo Bills are a good team, so Tua is out the window.
Yeah. I think once Tua, like you said, once he gets off rhythm, that's the problem. Him going to second and third reads, it just hasn't been there. And Buffalo's very good at, disrupting your rhythm of your plays, as you saw back in week 2 when what they did to the Dolphins before Tua got that concussion.
Yeah, they were losing that.
They were already down 31-10 or something.
They beat Tua in that game.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm worried about Tua coming in, but I haven't seen a big Tyreek Hill game in a while. I'm expecting maybe a couple big plays. I think this game will be closer than people would expect. I think people think that Buffalo's just going to run away with this. Dolphins are dead. But I think the Dolphins stick around in this game. I think they put up some big plays early on. But Josh Allen, man, he MVP right now.
I agree.
Him and Lamar.
I agree.
Like, it's got to be those two.
Yeah, and I would probably give it to Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
He looks great. And like you said,
stick with it, big guy. Stick with it.
With Cooper there, that's opened up Shakir, who's now healthy again. I think people sleeping on him. Coleman's coming down with big catches. He's now the third receiver.
Yeah, puts them all in the right roles.
Kincaid, and even Dawson Knox. Don't forget about him. He's going to have a touchdown streak coming in here somewhere.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, but I just don't think Dolphins are. Yeah. I think offensively they'll put up some points, but everybody forgets about how bad the Dolphins' defense has looked.
Yeah, it has.
It hasn't been pretty. They've been losing to bad teams, giving up points to bad teams.
I just
This is what happens when you pay your quarterback and 2 receivers. You have nothing left to pay anybody else.
Yeah, they don't have that extra, couple of edge rushers and stuff that they've had in the last few years. And the last few years they haven't done anything either, so they're worse. Bills are favored by 5.5. I'll take them to cover that. 5.5.
Yeah.
I just have no faith. I've watched so many big games with Tua, and he does nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I think he'll do a little something and then blow it at the end.
Okay. It would be the first time I've seen him do anything.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, he's got to do it sometime.
Yeah,
he's got to do it sometime. But, yeah, I do think Bills take this game.
Okay.
I think it pretty handily.
We're on the same page there. Were we on the same page on the last one, too? Yes. Okay, let's try to
both pick Cardinals?
Yeah, let's try to get one. Okay.
Yeah.
Detroit, Green Bay. Detroit 6-1. Going into Green Bay 6-2. Lions are road favorites by 2.5. But it's another great NFC North matchup.
Game of the week.
This is a great one.
I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah.
So
Jordan Love got hurt in the middle of the game against Jacksonville.
Oh, my groin.
My groin. Man gets hit by football. Man gets hit by football. It's a Simpsons.
This contest's over.
Simpsons reference.
Yep.
Look it up, people. Jordan Love was hurt, and Malik Willis came in, led a pretty good second half, including a game-winning drive against the Jaguars.
Yep.
Malik Willis, now, if you count that one, he's 3-0.
Right.
So I don't know, but the Jordan Love practiced today. Limited practice.
Okay.
When asked how did he move, Matt LaFleur said he moved like he was limited.
God.
And I just want to
thank you, LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur that's how you evade a question.
That's how you talk to the media.
Like he was limited.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Don't do any of this Sirianni crap.
Yeah.
Do it this way.
So, I don't know what kind of Jordan Love we're getting, but also the Packers seem to have something with Malik Willis, and the Lions defense is shaky. I think this is still a good game even with Malik Willis.
Yeah, I do think it's still a good game, regardless of who the quarterback is. I actually kind of hope it's Malik Willis, rather than Love.
Why?
Because Love's, he's banged up. He's still got the knee. He's got the groin.
So he's not going to, my groin.
Go with the 100% guy who's already won you 3 ball games.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's Detroit. I know you want to win, but you'd rather have a 100% guy out there than, Jordan Love, at 70%, 75%.
Right. Get Love right.
Sit him for a week.
Yeah.
I think that's okay. I don't think that they'll do it. I think they really want to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
But, offensively, I think they can still put up points. Can they put up enough to keep up with the Lions? I don't know.
The Lions, 52 points against Tennessee.
Yep.
They put like 30 up on the Vikings.
40 something on the Cowboys. 40 something
on the Cowboys. They put up
40
almost 40 on the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, the offensive line for the Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Jared Goff's doling it out to Amon-Ra St. Brown, and now Jameson Williams is suspended. Did he get suspended or?
I think so. Yeah,
got like both PEDs and like arrest warrants out, so he's doing the whole thing.
I think a gun charge or something. He had an unlicensed gun. Like, what are you doing? These NFL people, man, especially young guys. Like, you get paid some money. Just have somebody else have the guns. Have somebody else drive.
Exactly.
Just
you don't need Uber. Pay a guy to be your permanent Uber, to register your guns, to do what you need to do to keep you on the football field. The Lions should pay the guy to do it.
Yeah.
But this is your guy.
I don't think they need Jameson Williams at this point. The stat I've been hearing, the last 4 games for the Lions, they have 24 offensive touchdowns and 19 incompletions.
Oh, my God. It looks like that, too.
Incredible.
It's just like a first down every play. It's incredible.
Yeah. They're so smooth. They have so many trick plays, so many different guys, and they're like a smart team.
Yeah.
Like, you see like their locker room shit afterwards. Like, just everybody's like calm, cool. Like, we expect this. Yeah. We're gonna win. Like, it just seems like they have the best IQ team in the NFL right now.
Dan Campbell, baby. This may be the peak. Actually, no. This is the peak regard that we as a football fandom have regarded the Detroit Lions as.
Oh, yeah.
Like across all of NFL history. Sure, they've had some Cinderella teams, they've had the run and shoot, Barry Sanders, Scott Mitchell stuff, but this is like the first time that we're like in a expect to win, like
domination
high up there, domination, top of the power rankings type of team, and not just for a little blip either. It's now been 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, golly.
My biggest concern is they're peaking too early.
Yeah.
That's my only concern with this team right now.
Yeah. And you just cringe at the thought. And one of the worst things about football to me, and not to bring everybody down, but is that what happens on Halloween just isn't the playoffs. And the reason it's not is because a bunch of guys are going to get hurt before January. And that sucks, man. It sucks. So you just can't trust anything. But I don't know. The Lions are looking really good.
They're looking dominant.
It's hard to pick. Talk about week 9. They're 2.5 favorites in Lambeau Field against a 6-2 Packers team that everybody likes.
Right? And what, they're favored?
They're favored. Yeah. By 2.5.
If you're the Packers, you knew you got this game coming up. This one's been circled since September. You're just like, we have to beat the Lions on this game. So if I'm that defense, you know what you have to do. Like, you got to slow them down, get them off the field on some third downs. I mean, it's going to be a tough game for them to win. But when you're in Lambeau, things can happen. And as we know, upsets can happen, especially from last week. Browns beat the Ravens, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be a little too surprised to actually see the Packers win this one. Just because I think their defense is going to come out and have a game plan. Like something kind of like the Vikings had a couple weeks ago. Like, you give the Lions 30-something. That's a successful game, in my opinion.
At this point,
hold them to 31 points, and then, hopefully you can get some touchdowns, and hopefully you can waste some clock.
I think you're right that they've circled this, that they've got all this stuff. I just don't think they should have. Golly, I agree with you. Sit, love. Don't worry about what happens in week 9. It's such a long season. You're playing with house money here. You got 3 wins with Malik Willis. Get Love healthy. Don't circle week 9. You can circle week 14, which is when they next play. Yeah. That's a Thursday night football game. That's going to be fun.
That one's more important, probably.
Yeah. It's like, God, I know what every week matters and stuff like that. But I agree with you. The Packers are probably going to throw out the whole...
The kitchen sink, man.
Kitchen sink here. And Dan Campbell's going to reject the kitchen sink with no padding at all. A full kitchen sink's just going to come out, and he's just going to shoulder check it down.
Blow that thing up.
And put a huge dent in the sink.
Then he's going to bite that
He's
sink.
just going to bite the faucet, start chewing the aluminum.
LaFleur's like, oh my God.
LaFleur's he's got like these gloves and like him and his guys have been throwing sinks and they're just like, my God.
I thought for sure that was going to work. This guy's an animal.
So you think, I mean, I got to pick Lions. I just can't.
I'm going upset.
Oh!
Inexplicable upset. Lions got to falter at some point. Nobody thought the Ravens were going to lose after them winning 5 in a row. Then they lose to Cleveland.
Yeah,
somebody has to expose Detroit's defense at some point here. And I think either Love or Willis, I hope it's Willis, somebody's going to expose that. There's good receivers. LaFleur's a great play caller. They can put up the points and keep it close. Because the Lions haven't really played a close game in a while. Yeah. So I'm a little, I guess the Vikings won, but I think they can keep it close and then maybe sneak it out.
Yeah.
Maybe sneak it out at home. It's tough to play at home, and Jared Goff sucks on the road. Sucks on outdoor stadiums. So let's keep that in mind.
He does. That's a good point.
That's still a thing.
That's a good point. And they have not, I was just looking at their schedule here. They have played indoors the last 4 games. So they played in their home stadium against the Seahawks and the Titans, and then their away games were Cowboys AT&T Stadium, and Vikings. So they have not played outdoors. They barely played outdoors at all. I don't think they even have. Okay, let's see. Rams, Bucks in Detroit, Cardinals.
Okay. Yes. Everything's been indoors.
This is Goff outdoors for this time. Okay.
Let's go.
That's what you're going to hold on to.
That's why you tune in.
That's why you tune in.
Expect the groundskeepers are not going to keep that grass very nice. There's going to be people slipping all over the place.
And Goff needs his guys running perfectly in an indoor room temperature situation.
About timing. Yeah.
Okay, I'm picking the Lions.
I'm going Packers on the Jared Goff sucks outside.
I could honestly, I could get behind that, but I don't think that this is about Jared Goff.
Yeah.
I think this is about the fact that when that offensive line wants to score a touchdown, they score a touchdown.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's okay, well, let's give it to Montgomery.
Yeah.
Let's give it to Gibbs.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have Montgomery throw it to Laporta.
Exactly. I love that. And why is Amon-Ra, St. Brown, or Jamison Williams or Khalif Raymond wide open? It's because you've had to invest everything to stop our crazy, sharp, angled run game. Yeah. So I'm going, this is the peak of the Lions. Like I said, this is the highest regard we will ever hold them in. I'm taking the Lions week 9.
All right.
Sunday Night Football, an interesting game. Indianapolis Colts freshly benched their young quarterback who needs nothing but experience. So bench him. Are traveling to the Minnesota Vikings, Colts are 4-4. Minnesota Vikings are 5-2, but they're on a 2-game losing streak.
Yep.
A humbling 1-2.
Just bam, bam.
Yeah.
Lions, Rams, bop, bop.
This is in Minnesota. Minnesota is favored by 5.5, but it's got to be hard to predict this game because are we going to get Hero Flacco,
Yeah.
And are we going to get the Darnold that we've been seeing in the last bit here? Who has the better quarterback in this game? I feel like it might be the Colts.
It might be Flacco, right? Which is nuts.
Especially with pressure, because the Vikings lost Darisaw.
Yeah, they traded for the Jaguars guy. Yeah, but
he's not. Darisaw was playing like an All-Pro, first team All-Pro.
He's not Darisaw.
Yeah. So yeah,
I'm a little concerned. I mean, I already know that Anthony Richardson's probably a little too tired to play this game. Let's be honest. He's like, Flacco, take this one. I'm going to need a week off.
Do you think that's why he got benched? He took the play off right before the third quarter?
The fact that he admitted that he was tired is why he got benched.
Now, a running back could take himself out, though.
That's fine.
But not the quarterback.
Not the quarterback. You're the pretty quarterback. You ran around a little bit. You have to stay in the game. I don't care who you are. All those offensive linemen, all those defenders. And then you're going to sit there and get on the podium and be like, dude, I was too tired to get in there for a 3rd and 25, which was his own dang fault anyways. Plus, he's not completing passes. Yep. He's got like a 40% completion percentage. He has been awful.
Do you think we've seen enough? I mean, because I still think that, you knew what you were doing this season. Your whole goal is to really see what Anthony Richardson is. So I get it. He took himself out and played. That's bad.
Yeah.
But now you're going to take away the one thing he needs, which is experience. So I don't really like the benching.
I don't really like it either because you went into the season saying we spent a 4th overall pick on this guy. We got to write him out. See what he's got. How much is he really going to learn from Flacco in the pocket here?
Quarterbacks don't learn anything that way.
I know.
Maybe a guy who's got a lot of experience needs to sit, but this guy needs one thing, and it is reps.
He needs reps.
Just reps. Barely played in college.
Yeah, but I think from what he did last week and him saying he was tired, that's why he got benched.
Maybe locker room morale, too. Like, you don't do that as the quarterback.
That's inexcusable. And Flacco could come in there, and I think he'll do better against a Brian Flores defense. Yeah, I don't think Richardson could read that at all.
Yeah, maybe the opponent has something to do with this here. I've kind of toyed with that idea.
I think it's kind of all of it.
Yeah.
Like if I'm their coach, I'm just like, dude, we have to go Flacco this game.
Yeah. And this is not an unknown commodity completely in Flacco. He has played basically 3 full games. He came in against Titans, I think it was, the first time Richardson got hurt.
Yeah, something like that.
I know he played against Pittsburgh and another team. He's got 7 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Yeah.
And he's looked
he's looked very non-Joe Flacco.
It's like, okay, we have had 3 phases of Joe Flacco's career. The first phase was we think Flacco's actually bad. And, oh, wait, he's the best quarterback in the world for 4 games in the playoffs. I guess he's turned the corner. The second phase was the longest phase, where he was the most boring quarterback in NFL history
Captain
from 2013 to 18.
Yeah.
Just made Ravens games unwatchable. And now he has gone on his just like trek from the Jets to the Broncos to the Browns last year.
And now he's with the Colts and he's slinging it.
And he's not that boring guy anymore. Yeah. He is Jameis Winston now. He's got a connection with Josh Downs. He's got I think he's playing with Jonathan Taylor for the first time.
Jonathan Taylor's back.
Didn't have him in the last few. We may have, golly.
The only person that's been holding the Colts back has been Richardson.
I think so.
This team could be pretty dang good with Flacco.
So maybe that's what we should take from this. Not like up on our high horse talking about Richardson needs experience. And I know I was the one talking about that. I was the one on the high horse. That's right. It was me, the headless horseman.
Yes.
Halloween. Maybe we shouldn't be talking about that and should be talking about what does this decision say about what they think of their current roster.
Yeah.
Like they're willing to take all this flack because they maybe think, we actually have a chance.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll see that. I think we're going to see that on Sunday. And I'm really trending towards picking the Colts in this game. I'm getting there.
I like that Flacco's in. I mean, but we got to remember the Vikings started out 5-0, and that wasn't just like, we played a bunch of bad teams. They thumped the Texans. They beat the Packers. They beat the Niners.
49ers,
Like, they beat some good teams, and they lost to some good teams. Mm-hmm. I mean, Rams had everybody back. Lions are obviously the Lions. So they've been a hard-tested team, and it's hard to, like, just sleep on Justin Jefferson being out there on the field. Aaron Jones is kind of healthy right now. Yeah. Like, I know we're worried about the left tackle situation, but they've got weapons.
Yeah.
Brian Flores is still bringing the heat, looking for opportunistic turnovers. Like, if I just lost 2 games after starting 5-0, you got to just like draw the line in the sand. Be like, we're not going to 5-3. You got to be kidding me.
Right.
Like, nobody's going to respect us anymore.
So you're taking the Vikings?
I think I'm going Vikings. I think I expect them to get back on the winning trail here to get to 6-2, still keep that NFC North title alive, hope alive.
Yeah. They're at home, like you said. Justin Jefferson is the best player in this game. Period.
100%.
He's the best player, maybe across a lot of games.
But this is a good game, like sneaky good.
Yeah, I looked at the Sunday Night Football. I didn't think I wasn't impressed, but we got Justin Jefferson, we got Jonathan Taylor, we got a lot of good stars on a lot of good positions. I'm picking the Colts. I'm taking the damn Colts.
Go Flacco.
I think I'm going to go with my epiphany that I just had, which is that this decision says something about the roster, the rest of the roster. And Flacco, maybe this is what they should do. Rest Flacco for a few weeks, bring him in against a good team and go,
Right?
Like Flacco, I like this. The problem with Flacco is I don't think he can do a whole season.
Yeah.
He can do this.
Yeah. I think this gets them back into it. If they can win this game, the Colts are probably going to the playoffs. They beat the Vikings here. This would be huge.
I agree. And it's Sam Darnold is my negative on the Vikings. I'm seeing the old shakes.
Man.
And Darisaw out.
He makes some dumb decisions. It's really the Colts defense we don't know much about, really.
Yeah.
That's the big wild card in the game.
Well, I'm more excited to watch Sunday Night Football now than I was.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's going to be a good game.
Yeah. More excited for that than Monday Night Football.
Yeah.
God.
Come on.
Somebody beat the Chiefs.
Just
please.
Jesus. God. All right. My name is Miles.
I'm Kirk.
Good night.
And end on that bad note.